Hey guys, how's everybody doing out there? It is I back again for another Spotlight Q&A coming to you from all the questions that I delivered on my Patreon. The Spotlight Q&As are pretty much dedicated to the patrons who are part of it. It is open to everybody. It's not just you have to be a tier member. No, it's open to tier members and free members. And I posted a poll back in April, pretty much I think April 22nd, to celebrate the 40th anniversary of those robots in disguise, the Transformers. Let's do a Spotlight Q&A for those guys. And as you all know, I'm a child of the 80s, so of course I was all for it, and I was hoping to get at least a good amount of questions. As you all know, when you do these Spotlight Q&As, you can ask 3 questions per person. Doesn't have to be 3. You can ask 1 or 2, don't matter, and we'll get down to it. And I got a pretty decent amount. I always said I always give it a week or 2 to do it, and I decided to do it now. And the Spotlight, the questions are here, and I got like 10 people. And 10 people with 3 questions for each. So I got a good amount of questions here. And good thing I read them over, because I was hoping I just didn't get the same question over and over. But we're going to kick this off with the first person. So we'll start from the bottom. I'm looking on Patreon with my phone. So looking at the questions, we'll start with Charles Gorman. And he asks me, his first question is, what other franchise would you like to see the Transformers crossover with? Robotech or Gundam. That'd be kind of cool. Number 2, what were your thoughts on the Transformers Unicron trilogy, Armada, Energon, and Cybertron? I enjoyed those anime style Transformers cartoons. Those were on Cartoon Network. I don't think I watched Armada. I loved Armada. I don't think I watched all of Energon, and I don't think I watched all of Cybertron. So I need to finish watching those. But sometimes I don't like CG mixing with 2D animation, and so I didn't care for that too much. I really wish Peter Cullen did the voice for Optimus, but they got Gary Chalk to voice the character, which he's good. But when I think of Gary Chalk, I think of Optimus Primal, not Optimus Prime. Number 3, if you were a Transformer, which side would you choose, and what type of vehicle do you think you would transform into? Of course I would be a Transformer. I would be an Autobot. No way I would be a Decepticon. Autobot all the way. What I would transform into, that's tough, because they already got Ferraris. They already got a Lamborghini. Those are like 2 of my favorite cars. I'd probably turn into another jet. Probably a jet. Something that could fly. I think the Autobots need more aerial adversaries. So yeah, probably like that. Could be. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, Charles. Next question comes from Cyborg 19.99. Favorite Autobot and Decepticon? Okay, Autobot is tough because I have a lot of Autobots that I like. And instead of going with the stereotypical like Optimus, I'm gonna go Jazz. I always love Jazz. I always loved Jazz since the G1 series. I always loved Jazz. He was always cool to me. He just carried himself with cool and class, and besides, he was voiced by Scatman Crow, so I was like, yeah, that was great. Decepticon, Soundwave, all the way. Always loved Soundwave. Ravage, deploy. I was always, love Soundwave. Thoughts on Unicron? The Unicron is the Galactus of the Transformers universe, and I'm cool with that. Did you watch Transformers animated, and what did you think of it? I was okay with that. You know, it was supposed to be a younger Optimus, but again, if he was Optimus, then he shouldn't have been called Optimus Prime. Or he should have been Optimus Prime. He should have been called Optimus Prime. He should have been called Orion Pax. The animation was alright, but I was 50-50 with it at best. I watched it, but I was okay with it. Thank you. Next up, Duke Lawton asks me, what is your opinion on Beast Wars? Loved Beast Wars. Loved Beast Wars Transformers. I love that. I actually have those in box sets. The series. I know they came out with a comic series that continued. I think IDW put it out. But I do have the box sets. I'm looking at them right now. I got all 3 seasons. I didn't collect Beast Machines, the one that was over on the Fox network. I didn't mind it, but it could have been better. But I love Beast Wars. I loved Beast Wars. It was great. They did a good job, and that's where I feel Gary Chalk was great as Optimus Primal. Now that's just prime. That was cool. I love that, and I love that Cheetor called him Big Bot. Always called him Big Bot instead of he was like his older brother or so. Number 2, did you ever read the new Avengers Transformers crossover comic? Yes, I have it. It's in my collection. I forget where it is. It's in one of these boxes behind me, or I think it's in my closet. But yeah, I did. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was fun. It was G1 Transformers with the new Avengers. One of my favorite covers is Spider-Man looking at Megatron. Spider-Man is on Megatron's finger, I think, and he's just looking at him. I was like, that's cool. But I did like that. Are you hyped for the Transformers G.I. Joe movie? Not as much as maybe other people are. And the reason why I'm not is because, one, they did not really establish the G.I. Joe like the Transformers live action. The G.I. Joe movies suck in general. Let's be real. They suck. You could put The Rock, you could put anybody you want in there, but it still sucked. And that last Snake Eyes movie, I didn't even bother watching because I thought it was trash. I looked at it, I'm like, no. You know, I wish they had just stayed true with a lot of the Mr. Larry Hama did. Larry Hama crafted the G.I. Joe universe so well and so honorably. They should have just stayed true to Larry Hama's vision. Like, for me, when I think of Snake Eyes is one of my favorite G.I. Joes. And to me, I always loved the idea of him. He took a vow of silence. That's why he doesn't talk. There's two origins I like. He took a vow of silence after his master was killed. The other one is that he can't speak because he got injured in his throat. Fine. But I'm not that excited for it. Not really. I know there's some people that can't wait, but I'm 50-50. Not even 50-50. I'm 75-25. 75% I don't care. 25% we'll see. Next up is from Eliza. She asks me, if you were, this is another, same thing, same in the question. That's why it's very important, guys, to look at the questions when you're submitting your own questions. Look at them, because you might be putting the same question, and Eliza, you put the same question as Charles. So I'll just, like I said before, I'd probably be an aerial Autobot. I'd probably be a jet, some kind of jet, high-profile jet or so, because I think the Autobots need more aerial members and not just land. That's just me. So yeah, but thank you. Next up, Blue Guardian says, what was your least favorite Transformers cartoon? My least favorite Transformers cartoon, I think it was animated. I wasn't the biggest fan of that. I really wasn't. I liked Transformers Robots in Disguise. That was part of the Fox network more than I like Transformers animated. What's your favorite Transformers game? I think it's. Oh man, that's a. Oh, I gotta go with the one that came out for the PlayStation, Xbox and PlayStation. That was focused more on the G1 series. Don't get me wrong, I like the others, but that just hit me because of the nostalgia of it. I like that. Is Peter Cullen the definitive voice for Optimus? Abso-freaking-lutely. I can't really see anybody else voicing that character, and he does it with such dignity. And and if you ever sit down and watch an interview where he got that voice from for Optimus Prime, he got it from his brother. His brother kind of he got inspired by his brother. So I really like that. When he talked about it, and I really love that. He is just like Kevin Conroy. You know, Kevin Conroy is the definitive Batman voice, right? That's Peter Cullen. Not saying that he hasn't done any other voice acting for other characters, but when you think of Peter Cullen, you think of Optimus Prime. Same thing with Megatron. When I think of Megatron, I think of Frank Welker. I don't think of any other people too much. So yes, thank you for the questions. Next up, Ben Owatu. Okay, I like your name. Optimus was killed off for good. Who would be your ideal leader? Well, I can tell you right now, it ain't Hot Rod. Fuck that character. Fuck Hot Rod. I've said it before. I will never, ever forgive that fucker. And the fact that he became Rodimus Prime, fuck him. Because he got nah, fuck that. Because of you, Optimus he was killed. Fuck him. I'm going maybe Sentinel Prime. Maybe Ironhide to a degree, maybe, but definitely somebody that can walk in the shadow. So yeah. Number 2, would you be down for another Transformers Avengers crossover? Yes, I probably would be. Have them team up to face Megatron and Ultron or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Number 3, did you have any Transformers toys or were growing up, or did you just like the cartoon? I was a collector. Growing up as a kid, as a child growing up, the toys that I had, I was an action figure guy, but it was He-Man, it was Thundercats, it was Transformers, it was G.I. Joe. I had all those toys, and I had them all, and I had Optimus, I had every character you could think of, and unfortunately, when I was a kid, I was in my apartment caught on fire. The building I used to live in when I was a kid back in the days and during the 80s, the building caught on fire and all my toys got burnt in that fire pretty much. So yeah, sometimes I think about it, I'm like, oh, I ain't got those toys anymore. Next up, we move on to the Yin and Yang lad. What is good? Who were your favorite Maximals? Okay. Well, I liked Optimus Primal. Loved Rhinox because he turned into a rhino. And I love rhinos. Rhinos are one of my favorite animals. You know, he was the brains, but he could also get badass when he knew. And he's probably the strongest out of all of them too. I hated that they made him a villain in Beast Machines. I was like, fuck, that made no fucking sense to me. Cheetor was great. Tigertron I loved. I really wish they didn't kill him and Air Razor off. Like they they didn't get killed, but they merged together, and then they became Tigertron. Silver Bolt. I wasn't the biggest fan of Silver Bolt. He was such a whipped. He was so whipped for Black Arachnia. I'm like, good God, would you get off her Cybertronian tots? Like, good God, it was ridiculous. So yeah, so those were definitely. If you created a Maximal, what animal would it be, and what would their weapon be? Well, they did a backstory that there were more Maximals on the on Earth than what they envisioned. There was a Maximal that was a lion and things like that. But if I was making an animal, a Maximal animal, he would probably be a panther, and he would be more like a ninja. So he would be stealthy. He would be like Optimus Primal's reconnaissance agent, but he'd be a badass. He'd be kind of be like the Snake Eyes of them. I keep forgetting Dinobot. I forgot. Let me put Dinobot. I love Dinobot too. So he was cool. But yeah, his weapons would definitely be very sniper based, Energon like shurikens and stuff that could like paralyze somebody for a cool minute. So yeah, that'd be cool. Number 3, were you a fan of the Transformers cartoon on the Fox network? Speak of the devil. You're talking about Transformers in Disguise, which had very much a real anime feel. I liked it. I thought it was funny, kind of funny at times, because in that series, the Transformers and the Decepticons and that, it almost like they had like a signature moves. Like in that series, Optimus wasn't a semi truck. He was a fire truck, and he would come on and be a hydro cannon and stuff like that. And you had the bullet trains that were 3 bullet trains and Rapid Run, Midnight. One was called Rapid Run. I forgot the rest of them, but they were funny. It was fun. I couldn't take it too serious. Like it was more anime based, which I didn't mind. But it was, and you had the, Optimus would always tell his assistant, like she was like bring me whoever I need, and she would bring up who was in the vicinity, and most of the time there were a lot of brothers. Like they had the Carr brothers. Hot Rod was there, and he had 3 brothers. They were like, it was funny. I thought it was funny. So yeah, thank you for those questions. Lorenzo Smalls, you're killing me, Smalls. What's good? Who's your favorite Decepticon? Again, another question, guys. I tell you all the time, guys, look at people's questions. Try not to write the same questions. Like I said, favorite Decepticon is Soundwave. I love Soundwave. Number 2, why is Jazz always voiced by a black actor? Is Jazz always voiced by? Let me see. G1, he was voiced by Scatman. Yeah, he was black. When he came to Armada, I think he was in Armada. Was he voiced by a black guy? I don't remember. But when he was when he was adapted to the Bayformers, it was the actor who played Eddie Winslow who voiced him. So I guess you could say, yeah, I think to a degree, Jazz is a black Transformer. Even though they have no color, they take on the color of whatever they're transforming. But in a sense, he kind of is. I mean, the name even kind of, trying not to be stereotypical, but the name even kind of applies to being Jazz. Like, his name is Jazz, and say what you want, but when you think about the blues and jazz, that's my people. It's more of us representing that. So I got you can say that. So I will say maybe. Correct me on that, guys. Has Jazz always been voiced by a black actor? Leave that comments in a second. I can't remember but comment section below would be good for me. Thank you. What's Megatron's best transformation? A gun. Him transforming into a gun is probably my favorite. Him transforming into a ship and all that other stuff, I didn't care about that. When out of all he transformed into a fucking gun. I was like, and he would shoot, and then someone would hold him and he would shoot, or he would just shoot, pow, and I was like, that's kind of cool. I always wanted him to be turned into a gun in the first Bayformers movie, but he didn't. All right. Next up, we got Comic Guy J990. The Autobots versus Brainiac. What's your opinion? I'll be down for that, but I think they would get taken over. They would. I think. They would. They would definitely. I think they would definitely. I think they would definitely get taken over. Sorry about that, guys. I was looking at something. But yeah, I think they would definitely probably get manipulated by Brainiac's smart. So, and I think he would love to get his hands on maybe an Autobot or a Decepticon, or even try to get to Cybertron and all that knowledge. He would try to go after it. So, did you like Unicron in Transformers: Rise of the Beast? I thought he was cool. I didn't mind. I thought he was done pretty well. Scary, yes, but I thought he was done pretty well. Gary Chalk. Speak of the devil. Gary Chalk should have voiced Primal in Rise of the Beast. How do you feel? Yes, I do. I think he should have voiced Optimus Primal in Rise of the Beast. I didn't mind why am I forgetting his name? I am forgetting Ron Perlman. God, brain fart. I didn't mind Ron Perlman voicing the character, but at the same time, I would have liked to have heard Gary Chalk come back to voice that character. But again, they needed star power. These studios, they're only going to pick a certain amount of voice actors, but they're going to always go with, star power. And that kind of sucks, because you should be hiring more voice talent who are regular voice talent actors. That's what they make their career out of, instead of just going after, because I don't know, these studios think that won't sell. It will. People want to hear that. It's like with X-Men 97 right now. The fact that we got majority of the original voice actors back, and it feels like they haven't lost a step, is great. You see where I'm coming at with that? But thank you for the question. But I do feel that way. And the last question comes from Jalen Bullseye Collins. Was Hugo Weaving a good Megatron in your opinion? He was okay. I didn't mind him at all. I thought Hugo Weaving was fine, but after the stuff he says now about a lot of the roles he's done, it's almost like, dude, what the hell is your problem now? Like, your niece don't act like you. Your niece don't act like that. Samara Weaving enjoys every role she's done. She appreciates every role. And here you are. Now all of a sudden you want to come out and talk about Transformers. I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. I wish I didn't do Red Skull. It's like, what the is wrong with you, man? It's like, did that hurt your career? The hell it didn't. Like, what did it do to your career? It boosted your career. To me, and it's not even what's really funny, if you got Transformers, the Bayformers, his original on Blu-ray DVD, go behind the scenes. They had Frank Welker come in to voice and you can hear what it sounds like with him there, and it's just like, and me, the Transformer fan in me is like, then what? You should have stayed with that. You should have stayed with that voice. Why you get him after hearing what Hugo Weaving said? I'm like, then that fucker y'all should have went back to Frank Welker just to spite him. Oh, you want to be shitty like that? All right, nah, man. I didn't hate him, but I hate the remarks that he said after years now with that bullshit. It's like, go on, man. Get out of here with that. What's wrong with you? It's like, be grateful for it. I would kill to be a voice actor to do that. I don't want to voice a villain, but Megatron, if it was Megatron, if it's a villain that I love, maybe I would voice him. Like, I could do a damn good job as Megatron. Chris, you want deep in your voice? I can do that. You want me to get real deep? I can go deeper. And, and things like that. Decepticons, I would probably do the voice like Frank Welker. It's Frank Welker. I love that shit, man. Like, fuck out of here, man. Come on. I hate that. Anyway, guys, that's it. Those are the questions for the Transformers Spotlight Q&A. Thank you to all my Patreons who came out and voiced. Maybe I should have given a little more time. Whenever I post something on Patreon, it goes out to every Patreon member. It does. You get an email alert and everything saying so you shouldn't miss anything. But sometimes you do miss. Sometimes, and I missed a couple of Q&As that I wanted to be a part of for people that I'm a patron to. But it's okay. But if you don't, try not to miss that. If you want to be a part of it, that's fine. You got to remember also, I do monthly Q&As here on YouTube, but I also do, but this is for the Patreons, and I do post it here on YouTube as well. But yeah, for all the people who like Transformers, leave your comments in the section down below. I want to hear from you as well. So here are some of the questions I want to hear from those who couldn't participate in the Q&A on Patreon. Who's your favorite Autobot? Who's your favorite Decepticon? If you were a Maximo, what animal would you be? Or if you were a Predacon, what animal would you be? Is Peter Cullen the definitive Optimus Prime? What do you think of, put this in there, what do you think of the Transformer movies that have been coming out as of late? Do you like them? Because I actually like them. It's good to see them in a period piece. But those are some of the questions. And I look forward to hearing what you guys got to think. If you want to be a part of these Spotlight Q&As, just go over the link down below. There's that's where my Patreon is, and you could just become a free member. And anytime one of those Spotlight Q&As come up, boom, you could be able to participate in them. And I also do, other things too. But if you want to be a member, you could to see all the exclusive stuff, just $1. I'll let you, you can join for $1. But outside of that, guys, you guys take care. I will see you guys next time. As always, deuces. Autobots, roll out.